great gift. What a tremendous opportunity. We're just so lucky. We have to use it with every ounce of intelligence and courage and wherewithal we have. COVID is God's gift to the left.
Und zwar Part 2. Fuck Hollywood, we're so bored this years. Made a funny movie in 40 years. Fuck much more than Tommy Blimp. Fuck him, seen the pedo pimp. Throw that shit in De Niro's face. Spray one scene with a can of mace. Fuck Foley, the lion buffoon. You don't leave a song then. Fuck you. Fuck Hollywood. Fuck Hollywood. Fuck Hollywood City. Fuck Hollywood and the actors' opinions. Treat their views like pro minions. Fuck Bill Cosby, the racist rapist. Fuck Jim Carrey, the $1 million socialist. Fuck the Twitch on Twitter. Let's paper us out the shitter. Fuck the people who don't like Dave Chappelle. And if you don't leave a song then, go to hell. Fuck Hollywood. Fuck Hollywood. Fuck Hollywood City. Fuck John Cusack, the ball sack. Fuck Oswald and Jack Black. Don't fuck the small C's on straight. Should have been heard more shit, not a take. Fuck the actors when they try to sit into the causes of all no fucking thing. Fuck the people who take a knee. They're too stupid protest Confederacy. Fuck Hollywood. Fuck Hollywood. Fuck Hollywood City.
Context.
As America celebrated its 250th birthday, white nationalists from the group known as Patriot Front marched down the streets of Washington, D.C.
Oh my God.
The Southern Poverty Law Center. Patriot Front is a hate group. They arrived in Washington by train, surrounding every day.
All right. So, you guys obviously know what happened, right? You obviously know that a bunch of white nationalists, for some strange reason, this is like calling them Al Qaeda or anything like that. White nationalists who went down an elevator in D.C. and got on mass transit. Didn't cause any damage, didn't assault anybody, didn't threaten anyone, etc. Just did this. They didn't fly any planes into buildings. They did not burn anything. They did not destroy Teslas. They did not spray paint swastikas. This is what blows my mind, guys. You realize that there was like, let's say 1,000 white nationalists in DC, and none of them spray painted a swastika on anything. You know who does that? So again, just listen to the wording that they're using. They're trying to make you think that these people, and they haven't won me over with this. I'm not afraid of white nationalists. I'm not afraid of black Israelites. I'm not afraid of anyone who doesn't like me. You know what I mean? The only people that I really am afraid of are these fucking communist homosexuals. And you think I'm joking, but I'm not.
Southern Poverty Law Center. Patriot Front is a group. They arrived in Washington by train.
What does that mean, hate
everyday
group?
Americans just
What does that
trying
mean?
to go about their holiday, including this woman who sits calmly as white nationalists surround her. Who's in?
Right. And safely. Nobody's stabbing her. No one's setting her on fire. Nothing like that, right? She made it the whole way. She made it to wherever she had to go. It's not like she was Irina Zharutska or whatever the fuck that woman was. It's a bunch of white dudes on a train. Guys, we know for a fact that white people on trains, white people on mass transit, they're not a danger. They're not a threat. But you know who is. On average, you know who is.
Image will likely be in our history and textbooks one day.
Some images really strike a nerve and are instantly iconic. This feels like one of them. A black woman sitting on the DC Metro surrounded by countless masked white nationalists on America's 250th birthday.
Speaking of weirdos.
Is anyone feeling a certain way about this? Like, I'm not. Like, this makes total sense to me. Guys, nobody's being lynched. Okay, again, America went through some weird ass fucking time from the 1600s when they started calling it. They were hanging people to the frigging I don't know, maybe 50s or 60s when lynch mobs roamed through the United States. It was a thing. And guess what? The one thing that they don't tell you about these lynch mobs is that black people participated in these lynch mobs. A year before Tulsa, Oklahoma, 1 year before Tulsa, Oklahoma, by the way, no one was lynched. Well, a year before there was a white man who I don't know what kind of crime he committed. The people of Tulsa drove the fucking sheriff out of town, got this guy out of prison, hung him from a fucking tree, and guess what? He was white. And guess what? Black people participated in it. This is what they do not like telling you. Black people, for some strange reason, you guys love being hated. You have this fetish, this white boy kill me fetish. Nobody's killing you. The only people that are killing you are black people.
Members of the group Patriot Front ride the metro as commuter looks on during the 250th anniversary of U.S. independence. This is, America. There it is. A bunch of fucking...
So basically...
Yeah, a bunch of... a hate group, according to the Southern Poverty Law Center, that basically protected a woman on a bus or on a train. I mean... Right? I mean, I can understand if, Hassan Piker wanted to say, oh, yeah, these guys, totally raped her, they beat the shit out of her, they lynched her from fucking some tree in D.C., they stabbed her a couple times. That's not what happened.
Woman who was revealed, remember they posted that photo, it's oh my god, she's so scared. It's been revealed that the black woman that the Democrats put on the pedestal for bravely riding a train with Patriot Front members were engaging in indecent exposure on the train moments before the photo was taken and has a lengthy arrest record.
She was shitting on the bus or on the train. If you've been in the subway in Manhattan, you know what this is. You see it all the time. I don't normally see, I'm just saying, I'm not hating on anyone, but I normally don't see white people doing this. And this leads me to believe that there's something else going on with the whole black community and mental illness. How, if there's a black person who's mentally ill, I'm starting to believe this after seeing it for so many years. The family just says, bye-bye. Doesn't give a shit. Where are these people's fucking parents? Where are their cousins? Where are their aunties? These people run loose in Manhattan all the time. If you go down the subway, you will see them. 9 out of 10 times, they're black. It's just the truth. It's sad. And I really do believe that you make fun of Bergs, but Berg's parents took this guy in and housed him for 30-something years so he wouldn't do shit like this.
She's pulling her pants down. Who does this, guys? This is insane. Can you even make this shit up? It's just...
Crazy people do this. Absolutely crazy people.
So disgusting and weird, man. This one shows the original viral picture. Better? Yeah, this was the original photo.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you. Yeah, to be fair, I don't know what her charges are. I don't really care. I really don't. All I know is that they're trying to make a big deal about white nationals being on mass transit, going to an event, right? They're going to protest. They're going to do what Black Lives Matters and Antifa should have done peacefully. Right? Without hurting anyone, without intimidating anyone, without whatever. No one is paying attention to this woman. You see that? No one's pointing their fingers at her, calling her a Nazi, anything like that. Black Lives Matters and Antifa does that. And they did it to all of you. Even though you guys weren't involved or anything like that, everyone in America who was white at one point got the finger pointed at them. I was just on a TikTok live. They did it to me. because I live in New Jersey in the suburbs.
Democrats always picking winners. It's actually crazy. Like, imagine thinking this is your new Rosa Parks icon, and then video comes out and she's pulling the
you hear what he said?
down and trying to shit on the train station 10 minutes before the picture was taken. It's so fucking embarrassing. How do you keep doing this to yourself? Can't make this up? Well, anyway, I think
This is who they want to invest money into. People like this. I'm not saying invested into friggin' white nationalists, but this is who the liberal elites, the communist homosexual, wants your money, your tax dollars to go to. People like this. So they can have cell phones, so they can have their mass transit cards and all this fucking crap, and they can just walk around. Guys, people are waking up. They're done with this. From what? When did the civil rights bullshit happen in the 60s? So that's almost like 70 years. It's almost 70 years, guys. It's been going on. You know, I wasn't raised like that. I don't think any of us were. If you're in your 40s, there's no way, right? So, you know, the civil rights movement started in like the late 50s, and it's ended in 2020. I think it ended in 2025, 2024. So I think people were just like, wait, there were so many years of this, that we give these people so much opportunity to clean up their shit, to be part of the country, to be part of a system, to be part of culture, and they refuse it. And this is why you have guys going into D.C. marching. If you don't get it...
it's really going to show this is the safest subway car that she's ever
Rosa
been
Parks.
in her life.
Well, remember
And she's
Rosa
sitting in her
Parks.
fucking seat like a good girl and not pulling her pants down and shitting on the floor.
Whose image will likely be in our history
Oh,
and
yeah.
textbooks one day.
Oh, yeah.
I'm hungry.
So again, you know, the whole Rosa Parks thing, right? They've been looking for a new Rosa Parks. And in fact, I don't know if you guys remember when I was making the joke about Carmelo Anthony, when Austin Metcalf told Carmelo Anthony, get out of here. You don't belong here. Leave. I said the ghost of Rosa Parks, Malcolm X, you know, whatever, Martin Luther King Jr. entered his body. And he was compelled to stab. And you're going to say, well, Dave, that's ridiculous. Oh, is it? Look at this fucking post. Look at this fucking post right here. You get it now? Guys, these people are... First of all, for some reason, these people are into like witchcraft. They're into all this fucking like spiritual bullshit. They hate God. They want you to not believe in God. They want you to believe in the rule of law. They hate the police. And they're telling you that this drug addict retard, this woman who is mentally ill, was being led by her enslaved ancestors to sit on a bus with white nationalists. This is how black people romanticize shit. Believe it or not, this is exactly what happened. And had those Proud Boys put their hands on this sister, best believe, even though we said we wasn't coming outside, we would have made an exception for these mother effers. That was from Afro Think Tank. So I think I'm justified in making that bold claim about you know, Carmelo Anthony and this bullshit. They love airbrushed. Yeah, it's true. I don't know what the hell that is. Now, here's the kicker. I got a strike today for reposting this on YouTube. And guys, I'm warning you right now. If you have a channel, all right, watch what you repost, even though it's YouTube allows it to have millions and millions of views. Watch what you repost and watch what you write. Okay? If you were going to title something white nationalist, because this has to do with white nationalists, right? This came from a news source, etc. they will give you a strike and try to take down your channel. Something big is happening. We're going to call the Patriot Front in a few minutes, but I want to look at this. This came from Timcast. And this was very eye-opening. This was from Tim Pool. Let's see. Let's see if I can find it. Okay, so it was on this. Oh, there's so many. He has so many fucking channels. All right, hold on, because this blew my mind when I heard this, and I believe this guy. I believe him. I don't know why you'd make this up. According to Tim Pool, there's a movement in Japan to actually get white nationalists to move to Japan, give them cheap housing, etc. So let me see. My history. Unfortunately, I was watching a lot of videos today. Yeah, here it is. Okay, so it was Timcast IRL. There it is. This actually blew my
Incredibly
mind.
far away, actually.
And you're going to notice that they're not trying to import black people, Hispanic people, other Asian people. They want white people in their country. Ask me why. Explain that to me. Explain why they would want that.
Imagine being able to build an app with your name on it just by thinking
Come
about
on.
it.
I'm not paying for
Base
this fucking
44.
bullshit.
Yeah.
Tokyo.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of Okinawa?
I have, yeah.
Sounds familiar, right?
What's that N1 Nyosha?
Nagasaki. There's Kyoto.
Kyosho, I'm thinking of it.
Kyoto. It's funny because Kyoto. So here's the fascinating thing that I learned, because I know a little bit about Japan, but
Yeah.
I've been reading into it a lot because of the population crisis.
Yeah.
And recently we've seen stories of Indian migrants and African migrants raping women.
Right.
Because Japan has been desperate for labor because their population is
Oh.
collapsing.
Yeah.
Wait, they're having this problem in Japan too? How could that be possible? How is that possible?
Strategize now, and they're targeting white Americans to move to Japan. And so they are promoting these videos where you'll see like a 26-year-old hippie dude from America wearing crystals.
Yeah.
And he'll post a video on Instagram where he's like, "This is the day in the life of riding my countryside Japanese home." He's like, "I wake up in the morning," and he's like a surfer dude with long hair and a crystal on his neck, and he's like, "I bought this 5-bedroom house for $25,000."
So guys, you realize that like these problems that they're having with women being raped by these migrants aren't just happening in Europe, in America, etc. It's happening all over the world, and it's the very same people, over and over and over again. All right, I don't want to hear it anymore.
$1,000, and they're promoting these because they're like, "Hey, look, we don't want impoverished Indians, and we don't want African migrants to come in because they don't like anybody. Gaijin, it means foreigner. They don't like anybody.
Yeah.
But the people who are realizing in Japan, either the country retracts from population collapse, and this is no civilization has survived it. Either they bring in people or they retract. I have no problem with retraction and rolling up my sleeves and doing the hard work.
Yeah.
You know, I'm getting a little off subject, but I was just going to say,
Yeah.
you know, Trump's strategy is largely this: like, close the borders down, restrict immigration, bring our working class back. It's going to get bad for everybody, but we're going to roll up our sleeves, do the hard work. I'm fine with that. Japan has this compromise where they're like, just bring in white people. Like, they're peaceful, they're calm, they're generally going to be high skill. But we're talking about culture. What fascinated me to learn while I'm looking at all these stories and understanding how they're dealing
So
with
this is very frightening. So I put down, I typed in Patriot Front Hotline, If you are searching for a way to report activities or tips regarding white supremacist groups, Patriot Front, you should contact local law enforcement or federal authorities directly, as the group does not maintain a public hotline. To report threats. So basically, they're setting these guys up for failure, and they're not doing anything. They're not burning anything down. They're not spray painting swastikas like they did during the Black Lives Matters movement and Antifa peaceful protests. In New Jersey, you can contact the nearest state police station or report hate incidents to the New Jersey office of the Attorney General. Again, what was so hateful about what Patriot Front did? This is what I don't understand. I have no idea.
Lev. So here's Japan on the map. I want people to look at this map. Can we pull this
This
up?
ain't called Ku Klux Klan.
Here's Japan, right? Yeah, Okinawa's down here.
Oh, really?
I think that's what it is. Okinawa's down here.
Island, yeah.
It's an island. I didn't know that.
No.
I have heard of Okinawa. I had no idea how far away it was.
How do I contact Patriot Front?
And you can look down here. Look at this one.
I cannot fulfill this
I never even heard of
request.
this place, Takatomi. And
Okay, here we go. Ready? How do I contact Patriot Front?
I am unable to provide information on how to contact that organization.
Why?
I'm unable to help with that request because it goes against my safety guidelines regarding organizations that promote hate or violence.
All right, what about the nearest Black Israelite organization?
I am unable to provide information or assistance with contacting those groups.
Why?
I can't help with that because it violates safety guidelines, similar to other organizations that promote hate or extremist views.
Okay. So again, go into Manhattan, you'll see tons of Black Israelites bullying white people on the street. The police do nothing, nobody reports them. But for some strange reason, when Patriot Front shows up, it's like it's the end of the world. It's the end of the world. Who's lying to me? Who's lying to me? I can feel it in my bones.
I'm pretty sure this is Japanese.
Yeah.
It looks like it might be. I don't think it's Chinese. Ishigaki sounds Japanese.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure Ishigaki is Japan. And it's so incredibly far away. Actually, I want to make sure.
Yeah.
Because it's not... Oh, yeah, no, there you go. Yeah. It's Japan. Look how far away.
Yeah.
It's right next to Taiwan. How far away from Japan it actually is. And that's the point of culture. That...
I'm going to look up the nearest Ku Klux Klan organization in New Jersey. Let's see.
They are ethnically and culturally Japanese, despite being separated.
Yeah.
Now, like the United States, of course, we are a land that was conquered, and Hawaii was conquered.
Yeah.
And so there are native Hawaiians.
Okay, here we go. I just asked Google.
As like,
there are no known currently active or physical KKK chapters physically headquartered near the township of Washington in New Jersey. The closest identified KKK-related activity historically stems from the Pelham, North Carolina-based Loyal White Knights of the Ku Klux Klan. Again, they make it sound like these people are everywhere. They make it sound like these people are everywhere. By the way, the Black Israelites are right in fucking Manhattan. Right in Manhattan. Nobody does a goddamn thing. I'm not telling you to do a goddamn thing, but I just find it very, very fucking strange. Very strange. Let's all move to Japan.
the New Englander, white Americans.
Yeah.
The United States has a culture, and of course, it's fair to say that the United States I don't call it colonized. I say it's a conquered land.
Yeah.
We came here. There were a people. We settled on certain lands that were uninhabited, and we took lands that were not. And this happens all across the world.
Yeah. Well, you made a country out of just land, like many of these.
You think?
They say, "Oh, we conquered it" and all that. But the people who conquered it created. It's the same with Australia.
Yes, they created the environment. They created the infrastructure. They created the government. And for some strange reason, the communist homosexual cannot grasp that. They can't figure it out. And the only reason why a lot of these communist homosexuals can be communist homosexuals is because there was an environment created so that they could actually flourish and be the gayest communist homosexual ever on planet Earth. And that's the United States of America. Can't happen ever anywhere else.
Created Australia.
Right.
It's there, the founders.
Thanks, Mike.
I pray that that Japan doesn't allow liberal white women citizens. Well, again, the laws are different. They could kick them right the fuck out. I don't think they'd put up with it.
I have no issue. You know what's funny is Mexico is, if you want to talk about a conquered land.
Yeah.
The Spanish coming in and just wiping out the Aztecs and the Incans.
Yeah.
But you know, I think there's an important thing that needs to be said, and we need to stop. I'm a big fan of Matt Walsh. And he makes the point that the Aztecs, they were savages. And we need to stop pretending.
Thank you.
And playing this game of, they call it the noble savage myth.
Yeah. Okay, you guys getting it now? This is what I've been saying forever, and people yell at me for it. Guys, these people weren't peaceful, fucking dancing with wolves, fucking doing rain dances. They were eating people. They were cutting people's heads off. They were molesting children. They were raping women. You name it. Genocide to the max. All right, destroying the forest, making animals go extinct. By the way, and the last animal that they're known of for doing this to was a fucking domestic dog. By the way, because they ate them all. So you know, out in Washington State,
sacrificing children to make it rain, to make the crops grow.
Thank you.
That's an absurdity. When the European colonists came to the United States, it wasn't the same as when the further north you get, the more chill it was.
Yeah.
Because of winter. But in the United States, I have no illusions. Yeah, we conquered this land. I'm not going to claim that every land was owned by someone. That's silly.
Yeah.
You get these leftists, they say, oh, the Native Americans in this place. And I'm like, listen, it was, hundreds of thousands of acres or whatever of uninhabited wilderness.
Well,
there were people there.
You want to know the story about the domestic dog? The Indian. Okay, hold on. Check this out, Born Mush. What was the name of the domestic dog that the Indians had in the Pacific Northwest?
Indigenous Coast Salish peoples of the Pacific Northwest had a distinct breed known as the woolly dog, also called the Salish woolly dog. They were small with thick white fur that was shorn yearly and woven into blankets and robes. The other type was called the village dog, which was larger and looked more like a coyote. Would you like to know more about how the woolly dog's fur was used?
They used these dogs to make clothing. Then they ate them. Why did the woolly dog go extinct?
The extinction of the woolly dog was primarily caused by colonialism. European settlers brought new diseases that devastated the Coast Salish people, making it difficult or impossible to care for the dogs. On top of that, colonial policies actively discouraged traditional practices, including the weaving and special breeding needed to maintain the woolly dog breed. While cheap machine-made blankets became available, oral histories emphasized the loss of culture as the real.
That doesn't make any sense because we still have sheep. We still have sheep. That is bullshit. Did the Native Americans eat the woolly dog?
Generally, no. The Coast Salish people considered the woolly dog too valuable as a source of wool and treated them like family members. Historical accounts suggest European explorers might have bought some to eat, but it wasn't part of the traditional practice. The dogs were fed a special diet to keep their coats healthy.
Did they ever eat woolly dog?
To maintain the breed.
Did they ever eat
other aspects of the cultural significance?
Did they ever eat woolly dog?
Historical documents indicate that early European explorers in the 1800s bought woolly dogs from the Coast Salish people to eat, and some became fond of the meat. But it wasn't part of the traditional practice, as the Coast Salish people treated the dogs like family members and prized them highly for their wool. Would you like to know more about how they were cared for or what was woven from their fur?
No, I want to know if Native Americans ate woolly dog. For some strange reason, they won't tell you.
To be very direct, there is no evidence that the Coast Salish people who bred and cared for them.
I just read a humongous article, right, that was published by like the National Geographic. National Geographic. You guys see what's going on here? Let me explain something to you. This is how evil Google is. If you ask Google, what did it cost the American taxpayer with the damages from Black Lives Matter and Antifa, they will tell you over $2 billion in damages. If you ask them about the damages that took place on January 6th, they say $2.3 billion. How is that possible? You got to ask very specific questions. The $2.3 billion wasn't from damages. To replace every single window in the Capitol building with all the security and shit, it would cost estimated $100 million. There was 3 windows that were broken. There were 2 statues that were vandalized. And the rest of the shit that happened there, because they itemized this crap, was the tear gas that was used by the federal agents inside the Capitol building, and they had to clean all that up. And they're telling you that cost $2.3 billion to repair. Guys, you realize you're being like, this is like the biggest fucking lie I've ever heard in my life. This is what is dangerous about AI. It's going to hide the truth from you. It is going to lie to you. It is going to lie to your children. Everything. They're trying to get rid of critical thinking, right, in school, so that they will just listen to that, and that will guide them throughout life. That everyone will be in agreement. Doesn't matter if it's real or not. Doesn't matter if it's true. The woolly dog was eaten into extinction, according to National Geographic. Eaten into extinction, not by European settlers. Not by European settlers. It was the famined Pacific Northwest dingleberry fucking tribe that couldn't keep up whatever the fuck they were doing, so they ate all their fucking animals. All their domesticated animals at the time. And for some strange reason, this thing will not tell you that. AI is beyond woke. It lies. It absolutely lies.
Some of them fought wars and lost. Every nation has their history of conquest.
Of course.
Yeah. We're not going to play the stupid game where it's like you lose your land now.
No.
I will say what's fascinating is how, Ireland is kind of the inverse. You are the indigenous who defended your land for hundreds of years and maintained your culture.
Yeah.
They still want to erase it.
That's it. Like, if these people that are civic,
you hear that?
Now,
they want to erase it. Why would they want to erase history? Why do they want to rewrite it? Why don't they want you knowing that black people, if they can't be racist, then they're evil? They're absolutely evil. There's evil black people out there. In fact, I can prove it. I can prove that black men are inherently more evil than white men. When you look at the domestic violence rates among black women, rape rates, all this stuff, they're 20% to 30% to 40% more likely to suffer from rapes, abuse, torture, anything like that, at the hands of people, men who are the same color as them. 40% more likely. Not saying they do what they do the most. They do it more often. And that's why you have all these Shakikwas out there tearing shit up at fucking 3 o'clock in the morning at a Waffle House. Because they're treated like shit. They're treated like shit by their families, by their men. What is the point of this civil rights bullshit? Why should white people even participate in it? We gave them almost fucking 70 years. You realize that's almost 100 years. So my question is, why wouldn't you support the Patriot Front? What are they doing that is so bad for society? What are they doing that's so threatening to you and your family? To me. Seriously.
Irish. Were we English when we were in the British Empire? Do you know? Essentially, were we English or we were Irish? Because in their view, we would have been English. We would have been British.
You know, it's so fascinating.
Yeah.
And then you stopped being British the moment the name changed. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And those people, why did they want a land of their own and to be ruled by their own?
Because they're evil white people.
They don't want to address them. They pretend now it's just they're giving all the power to the state. Essentially, they're saying, look, the state decides who's Irish. The state decides who lives beside us.
They did this in Germany when the Berlin Wall fell.
Where you line up like 5 people, and then
Irish is a.
And you ask them who's the Irishman. And
if anyone here is from Germany,
Norwegian,
if anyone is here from Germany right now, and you remember the fall of the Berlin Wall, anyone with a German Shepherd was considered German, right? Am I right? Am I right? I've heard that over and over and over again. And you would think, well, how is this guy that doesn't leave the country, this guy David Buldo, that never leaves the country, how is he so knowledgeable about this? It's because I'm around everyone. There's German people that live here. There's German people. I used to work at a store with a French Holocaust survivor. Like you guys, you people in other countries, you Europeans. John, hold on. That was John. I can't talk to him right now. You people are so obsessed with cucking yourself for people who are of darker complexion. And it blows my mind. It blows my fucking mind. Just darker complexion people. You don't have to know anything about them. You just feel bad for them. And you basically hand over everything to them. For what? To destroy yourselves. Patriot Fund saying that's not how you do it. Don't do that. In fact, Japan is saying, no, we want you people here. We want you people to flourish in our country. Why would the Japanese say that? Are the Japanese racist? Or are they just realists? Black people, I don't know. Black people have to wake up, man. For real.
An American who is 100% Irish, like second or third generation, and then you get a Somali born in Ireland, and you ask the question. And the funny thing is, the left is gonna
they wouldn't answer. They're too scared. They know.
I think if you go to
scared, yeah.
If you go to a small town with pride flags everywhere, and you said, you'd have to approach it in an interesting way. You'd have to be like, hey, we're doing trivia for, it's $100, it's a game show. You ask them, because you can't just walk into it, otherwise they'll get you. You ask them a question like, what is the capital of, the state of Illinois? And they'll be like, oh man, for $100, it's Springfield. Oh, you win. And then you'll be like, what nation is to the west of Great Britain, and actually shares a border? And they'll be like, Ireland. Be like, you're correct. Okay, now here's the next one. Here's a picture. Which one is the Irish person? See what they're going to say? They're going to point to the white person.
Yeah.
They're going to be like, you have a Chinese guy.
Yeah.
You have a Somali person, and then you get an American-born white Irish. And then you have the Somali who's born in Ireland of Irish citizenship. And then watch them all pick the white American. Oh, I'm sorry, that's an American.
Yeah, why didn't you? Why did you think that?
Exactly.
Catch them out. Yeah, it's shocking. Their whole worldview doesn't make any sense. We've gone from a man.
Is that bad? Is that bad? Is that bad to be white and to have an identity, and for that identity to be so superior? Is that bad? Like, isn't that? Don't you think that people should? If you do believe what they just said, don't you think people should aspire to be white? Or be like white people? I would think so. Maybe that's why they wear suits and ties everywhere. Maybe that's why when we do business with other countries, they say in the year of our Lord 2026. You know that, right? You know that there's other calendars, right? But the whole world revolves around 2026. You realize that, right? It's the white man calendar. It doesn't matter if you're a Muslim or a Jew. You have your own stupid little calendars. You follow the white man calendar. Because people aspire to be a white man. That's why they wear suits and ties. And that's why when you see these fucking mullahs or whatever in Iran and shit like that dressed in fucking robes, you're like, wait, what is this? Who are these? Who are these fucking like these fucking like barbarians? These barbaric people. I know you think it. You don't see that and you're like, oh yeah, I would love to wear that to a gala. You don't say that. You think of them as like reenactors. Like, those people are in the past. I know you do. You won't admit it. Now, I want to show you something. I want to show you how people try to manipulate white people and heterosexual people into feeling so bad. If I can't find it, I'm gonna read it out loud. I think I posted it. I'm pretty sure I posted it. It could have gotten taken down. It could have gotten taken down. Oh, and by the way, to the assholes who told me that the Brooklyn Bridge couldn't catch fire when I said that, yes, when Antifa and Black Lives Matters was in New York City, they burnt down the Brooklyn Bridge or set fire to the Brooklyn Bridge, and everyone's like, you're an idiot. The Brooklyn Bridge can't catch fire. The Brooklyn Bridge can't catch fire. Bullshit. And I find it funny how the news didn't report it. There's flames. It's on fire. This is the second time in my life I'm seeing this. It's on fire. And you know who said that? You know who tried to discredit me by saying you didn't see that? The communist homosexual Matthew Potts and Wingstar and Bianca Dupré. That's who said it. Oh, the Brooklyn Bridge can't catch on fire. It's all stone. No, they set fire to the Brooklyn Bridge in I want to say, when was it? Like 2018, 2019? No, it had been like 2020. That's when they were in Manhattan doing this shit. All right. So I don't think I posted it here, but I am going to read it. This took place. Let me see where this took place. Okay. All right, this is out of Kentucky. This is from, I want to say, this was very recent, actually. I don't know the date, but it was maybe a couple months ago or maybe a month ago. A man who worked at a Roebling Books and Coffee, a far-left bookstore chain in northern Kentucky, went missing last month, prompting messages from the store and community asking for help. Some people suggested that Todd Garland was killed for being LGBTQ. They jumped the gun. They were like, oh no, it was definitely a white nationalist. White nationalism is on the rise. It must have been a white nationalist. It turns out that Garland fled the country after the Covington Police Department raided his home regarding a child sex crime investigation. He was found dead in Paris, France. Again, not white nationalists, but that's where they jumped the gun and they said it had to have been white nationalists because he's gay. Again, all these transgenders that are on TikTok complaining, I never see them with broken arms or black eyes or missing teeth, even though they're saying they're being attacked all the time. The Roebling's bookstore and coffee hosts drag queen story hour events, promotes the DSA, and held training to help illegal migrants evade law enforcement. A GoFundMe campaign to Garland, to cremate Garland, and bring his remains back to the United States, says the proceeds would benefit a children's camp he liked. Guys, this is happening everywhere in the country. You have these delusional people running around saying, I'm gay, I'm being attacked. I'm black, I'm being attacked. I'm this, I'm being attacked. I'm Hispanic, they're coming after me for being illegal. ICE is coming after me. Guys, it's out of control. I was on a live stream on TikTok about a couple hours ago. They were telling me some bullshit story about some 16-year-old girl that was lynched. Looked it up. They claim that there was an investigation, right? They found a 16-year-old black girl hanging from a tree. I forgot what state it was. And they deemed it as a suicide. They deemed it a suicide. Now, I want to say about 13, 15 years ago, Johnny What lived around a corner from some guy who hung himself in the front yard. And actually, Sarah Bean's boyfriend at the time found him hanging in the front yard. This stuff happens. People kill themselves. But when black people hear this, it doesn't compute. They think, oh, white nationalist. It had to have been. That's what we've been bred to believe. It's always a white person. Now here, let's say this person was lynched. Why would you say it was a white person? Black people, Indian people don't like you. Hispanic people don't like you. Asian people don't like you. Why would you assume it's a white person? And when we talk about conservative women, how come we never ever bring up Muslim women? It's always white Christian women that you talk about when you're talking about conservative women. Muslim women are very conservative. They have to be because of Sharia law. And 40% of Sharia law, the 5 aspects of Sharia law, are illegal to practice in the United States, all of America, Europe, and parts of Asia, not because of racism, but because of basic human rights. It goes against the Constitution of the United States and many other laws that I guess run other countries. But these fucking cocksuckers, these communist cocksuckers, would have you believe that it's the white man. It's the white man. Now, I told you guys before, if you guys are interested, please watch the documentary Africa Audio. It's from, I believe, the 60s, about apartheid in Africa. The Soviets got their hands on some people down in South Africa and said, you see these hospitals? You see these businesses? You see this infrastructure? You could have done this. These people hated you. They used you. And then what happened? What did they do in South Africa? They worshipped a terrorist named Nelson Mandela. They made this terrorist, Nelson Mandela, a president, a king. Guys, this can easily go this way. This is why these communist homosexuals are doing this shit. They know they can do it. They've done it before. They're going to do it to your country. They're going to do it to you. They're going to do it to your families. So again, tell me, what is so bad about the Patriot Front? What are they doing to you? How are they hurting you? Yeah, it's always sex trafficking, right? And if you bring that up in the transgender community, the LGBT community, you're shut down right away. Even though the first gay couple in Europe to adopt a child, they were just sentenced to prison for fucking raping kids. I mean, that would be like the first white man to land or to live in Africa started lynching people. You know, that's a bold claim. That white people just love lynching people. It's also a bold claim saying that homosexuals like fucking kids. But imagine if you were such like a trendsetter to be the first homosexual couple, married couple in Europe to adopt children. That's your claim to fame, and then you end up raping kids. That's pretty fucking bad. That's pretty fucking bad. And it's also pretty telling. I'm just going to say. Guys, my artwork is astronomical now. I don't know if you guys have been paying attention. Also, I want to give a big shout out to me for making one of the greatest chicken parms known to me.
Oh my god.
The crunch, the crust.
Yeah, I just want to give everyone a heads up.
This is really good too.
Go to 7-Eleven and get the banana Slurpee.
Yes.
It sounds disgusting, but it's fucking
It is
awesome.
great. But guys, look at this crust. Look at this crust. Melton John can't do this. Burgers can't do this. Anderson Henderson.
Oh my god.
Listen to this crunch. Watch.
Oh my
Watch this.
Oh my god.
Listen to the crunch.
Oh my god. Look at this. Look at this.
That is incredible.
Oh my god.
Cooked to perfection.
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
So good. Also, give a big shout out to this. This is Mila. I was like, why are they selling this? This watermelon water. I was like, watermelon water, but it's got electrolytes and antioxidants, and it was hot. And I grabbed it, and it was so delicious, so delicious. You gotta shake it. You gotta shake it. Oh my god. And the fragrance that came out of that can. It was like it was like drinking a more fruity, delicious V8. It was so good. Yeah, so. Okay. Alright. Enough. So we can go back to that Tim Pool thing. History.
And is a
Termites are terrible guests.
Are they?
So before they move in,
a woman to now to essentially now a Somalian is an Irish person, even Congolese, wherever. It's just and the fact that you have to defend this or argue it.
Well, let's we have a few minutes left.
Well, who you arguing
just ask
with?
you why,
You're arguing with like
why
Wingstar,
should-
Matthew Potts, and Bianca Dupree. That's who you're arguing with. And you're arguing with communist homosexuals. Stop! Don't argue with them
There
anymore.
be a country for Irish people. Well,
Why should there should be a country? Because I believe people deserve. I believe people deserve a homeland to call their own, to be surrounded by their own people and ruled by their own. This like a problem nowadays is boomers.
I mean, isn't that what the Native Americans did? So basically, they made a peace treaty with the United States of America. They sold off their land to the United States of America, and they all left together, and they went to a different state, lived there under their rules, etc. Peace treaty, and they also sold off land for a very good price, by the way. They made out with that deal. The Trail of Tears. You want to know why they were crying? You want to know why? Because the rain dances weren't working anymore. They realized that everything that they believed in was fucking bullshit. Everything. And then they were in denial for fucking a couple hundred years. They're still in denial, these fucking people. But why didn't they stay with the white people? Because they wanted identities. Just like everyone else on planet Earth. Is race mixing bad? I don't know. I have no idea. I mean, do your own thing. I'm not against it. I would never do it, but I would never have kids. But some people don't like it. Does that mean that they're racist? Does that mean that they're hateful? Does that mean that they're white nationalists? Some black people don't like it either. A lot of black women hate white women dating black men. They fucking hate it.
With an ideology that they grew up in a classroom surrounded by people like them. Same traditions, same customs, same backgrounds, all came from the same place. They're denying that same right to future generations, pretending as if it means nothing.
Yeah.
I think it means everything. I think it's important people grow up surrounded by people that are similar to them.
Yeah, I mean, he's also skirting around the part where it's like you're supposed to also be proud of it. You know what I mean? You're also supposed to be like semi-proud about being something, and maybe that thing could be white. Is it bad to be a proud white person or proud to be white? Is that considered like a hateful? Southern Poverty Law Center, Google. You know what I mean? Like Kamala Harris.
A lot of psychology books, and you prefer people that are similar to you. You want to find likeness in others. The more different you are, the more diverse people are, the more you tend to draw away.
More fighting.
More fighting, of course, yeah. So I think...
I think we call it the Davos group, right?
They're starting to say this.
Powerful international elites, millionaires, billionaires.
This is right around the corner, guys, because everyone's starting to say it. That segregation's got to come back. Black people are saying it. White people are saying it. And they're not saying segregation. They're saying something else. And I think it started with in Portland when they tried to disband the police. They tried to end the policing in Portland. And you're going to say, how is that possible? If you get rid of that stuff, you can basically do whatever you want. And people are going to choose to be segregated. The police enforce that shit. The states enforce that. These anti-segregation laws, people want segregation again. Black, white, Hispanic, Asians. And guess what? They all want to do business with each other. They definitely do. They just don't want to live next to each other. They don't want to have to go to church with each other. They don't want to have to eat next to each other. They don't want to go see the movies with each other. If you think that that's ridiculous or out of line, I don't know where the hell you're living. I don't know where the hell you're living in 2026. Segregation is coming back, bigly.
Whatever you want to call them. Their view is, they probably agree with you.
They were calling for segregation during COVID. People were fucking telling others who were not vaccinated that they can no longer be friends. And then when Trump came along and, if you voted for Trump, I can't be friends with you. You wear a red hat, I can't be friends with you. That's segregation. I won't go to your dinners. I won't go to your fucking your holiday festivals. Guys, it's here. It's here, and everyone wants it. Everyone. And I'm going to be honest with you. I live in Washington Township, New Jersey, 07676, and it is like no joke. You look it up. Let me ask Gemini. Yes, Gemini. Because I don't want to make any bold claims, but I think it's actually whiter than Europe, where I live. And I actually enjoy it. I enjoy living in a white town. Hey, what is the percentage of white people who live in Washington Township, New Jersey, 07676?
In Washington Township, Bergen County, New Jersey, the white population makes up approximately 80% of the community.
Okay. What is the percentage of white people that live in Europe?
Pinning down an exact percentage for the white population in Europe can be tricky, as different countries collect data in various ways, and many don't track race specifically. However, it's widely recognized that people of European descent make up the vast majority of the population across the continent.
Okay, there you go. It won't tell you. But I'll say this. All right, when I first moved here, it was about 90%. It was like 90-something% white, and I chose to live here. And I'm sure there's people who are not white who would love to live here around white people. And they want to segregate themselves from other races. Guys, people want this. And it's definitely coming. It's definitely already here.
You know, in a place like Ireland with so many people who are ethnically Irish, they're going to want to be around each other. Mm. Yeah, you know, if we get rid of that, we get rid of conflict, right? If we tell everybody they got to live next to each other.
That's what they do in prisons.
We mix cultures, we mix races, and then in 100 years, everybody is the same. They're just human. Yeah. Nobody will fight anymore, will they?
Yeah.
And, you know, my view of that is that's a disgusting planet.
Yeah, yeah.
When people hear the words print on demand, they picture a graphic slapped onto a
Yeah, I mean, you're just taking away people's identities, which, again, I don't really give a shit, but, I mean, people
you know, we hear it all the time. I got friends of all different racial backgrounds. I got friends who are trans. You know, I'm fairly libertarian to a certain degree. I don't want anyone to get hurt.
Yeah.
Do your thing, just don't hurt others. But there are issues of when someone would influence negative things to your culture that cause damage.
So is Tim Pool bald? Is that why he wears that stupid hat? I mean, can you imagine if like that was your trademark and you became famous because you wore a wool hat? Like, that's gotta suck. That's really, really gotta suck, because wherever he goes out or he does a fucking podcast or anything like that, he's gotta dress like this. And I can't imagine the studio lights, fucking all this shit. Horrible.
The world I would love to be in, we can get rid of war. We can evolve beyond war, and we don't have to erase what makes the spice of the earth. That is the fact that we know what Ireland represents here in America and why Americans want to visit Dublin.
Yeah.
Because it's a pint of Guinness. And we have a facsimile that is not the same, and we know it. We know that the Guinness in Dublin is 10 times better than the Guinness they give us.
Yeah. Is that true? Is that true? Because I ran into a guy at a bar one time. He told me that was true. I'm going to be honest with you. I can care less. You can go shove Guinness up your ass. Don't really care about it. If that's your claim to fame, that's stupid. That's really, really dumb. I mean, that and bar food. I mean, wow, Irish people.
We want to go there and we want to experience real Ireland.
Yeah.
I am terrified of a world where my child or future children will be like, oh, we're so excited to go visit Dublin, and when they get there, all it is Hard Rock Cafe, McDonald's, and Starbucks.
Yeah,
or Somalians.
Yeah, yeah.
I will say the funny thing is in the United States, we have every Irish pub is called Paddy's.
Yeah.
And there's like
past an O'Malley's on the way here. Yeah.
Did you really? Yeah. We have a Paddy's pub, and it's awesome.
Yeah.
In Charlestown.
Yeah.
I don't want to go to Germany and be served a hot dog.
Spot on,
I want schnitzel.
Yeah.
I'd like to go to China and have is Peking duck Chinese? I don't know.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's not a
go to Thailand and
dog.
have pad thai.
Yeah.
The world that these people are building is one where every country just serves the same generic.
Did he say pad thai? If he just did that, I hate him.
I want to go to Germany and be served a hot dog.
Spot on,
I want schnitzel.
Yeah.
I'd like to go to China and have is Peking duck Chinese? I don't know. Whatever.
Oh yeah.
I want to go to Thailand and have pad thai.
Oh my God.
People are I don't know. Whatever.
Oh yeah.
I want to go to Thailand and have pad thai.
I hate him.
The world that these people are building
fucking
is
hate
one
you,
where
Tim Pool.
every country just serves the same generic garbage
Hate you.
food.
Yeah.
There's no flavor. There's no interest.
And that worldview is much more beautiful than the alternative. Like a German Germany, and then you go to a France that is French, a Spain that is Spanish, rather than all of them being one of the same.
You know what happens when you mix all the different paint colors together?
Oh yeah,
you get a sludge. You get like a weird brownish gray.
Yeah.
And the argument is a rainbow is beautiful for the differences in the colors next to each other.
Yeah. Not
when you mix it all together and you get just white.
Yeah.
You know, on the color spectrum, or if you mix all the different paints together and you get blackish brown, a grayish sludge. No, I'm terrified of a future in which we don't have flavor. We don't have new things to experience, new people.
And again, these rules that he's talking about, they're only applying to white people. This is what he's leaving out. This isn't happening in China, dude. This isn't happening in Africa or India or even the Middle East. So stop. It's happening to white people. It's happening in America, and it's happening in Europe. Why do you think so? Why? Again, it is nice to hear about things that, you don't have to deal with, like fucking cracking open a dead loved one's head to release the spirit into the afterlife. I actually like that. I enjoy not having to do that. But in India and in other countries, they like doing that. They think it's appropriate. Now, if my neighbor was doing that, I'd have a big problem with it. And I think I have the right to tell them, hey, listen, don't fucking do that shit. Get that shit, go do that somewhere else. I don't want to see you outside fucking setting your loved one on fire, your deceased loved one, and then cracking their head open with a stick. And smell hot brains and fucking burning hair and all that stuff. I don't want that in my country. I don't want that in my backyard. I don't want my neighbors doing that. So the same thing with people shitting outside. You don't do that. But for some strange reason, they think it's appropriate to bring it to white countries. Why? When you say free Palestine, who exactly are you freeing? Wingstar, when you say free Palestine, who are you freeing, Wingstar? Matthew Potts, who are you freeing? Bianca Dupree, who are you freeing? The homosexuals? The women? The Christians? The blacks? Try bringing diversity to any of these other countries, especially Palestine, and you will see a pink-haired homosexual communist fucking flip their fucking shit for some reason. How dare you say that? How dare you say it? The only people that can keep their identities are people of other color or of darker complexion. People that run around with robes and throw people off roofs for their sexual preference. People that eat people in the Congo. People that have sex with children and marry children at the age of fucking 6. This is who they're investing in. And just like that piece of crap that was on that train with those white nationalists, that's who we want to prop up and call a hero? This is insane. Guys, you got to stop listening to these people. They're drug addicts, they're communists, they're homosexuals. Communist homosexuals, not just homosexuals. There's some level-headed homosexuals out there. I've talked to them. There's some badass homosexuals out there. But for some strange reason, it's the white man's problem. Why is the whole bathroom thing, the transgender bathroom thing, a white woman's problem? You ever notice that? White kids. How come during story time, trans hour, they weren't going to any of these black public schools and pulling this shit? You notice that? You never saw that. You only saw it happen to white kids.
to meet. Are we really going to become a world where Beijing and Ireland are functionally identical in every single way, from language to television shows?
Yeah. Like, why wouldn't they do it in Paterson, New Jersey?
Yeah.
All right. Mickey Sherrill is the governor of New Jersey. How come we didn't have more trans story time hours in Paterson, New Jersey? Why wasn't that like an issue? Like, why didn't we invest money for these trans people to go to Paterson, New Jersey and read books to kids? I can tell you why. I can tell you exactly why. There would have been some boom, 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 boom happening, and maybe some cuts and slices and Allah Akbar type shit going on over there if that happened. But we had to bring it to the white bubble. The white bubble has to be the first ones to do it, and then hand it out to the rest of the world. And when you don't take it, the evil white man forces it upon you, and then we're all considered racist. I don't know.
And I think the attitude of a lot of these elites is that's their vision of the future, and they think it's a good thing.
Yeah. Plus, we can't compete. Like, Europe can't compete with the likes of India, which has 1.5 billion people. It's impossible. Like, if we don't have borders in Ireland and there's no limit to how many people can come in,
yeah,
India is a big country with a lot of people.
You know what I think?
Yeah.
This all just comes down to everyone's got to have more babies, and I understand easier said than done. But when women have lots of kids, and men and women have kids, the voting priorities become for those kids, and I think that's why I say they, but
yeah,
like,
the future's our children. No, we're gonna kill them. we're gonna unalive them before they're even born, before they come out of the pussy. We're going to have them executed by doctors, specialists, chemicals. Yeah. You know, I got a gripe with some of you women and some of you men, too. Okay? When you talk about your 20-year-old children and you tell me that a 46-year-old man shouldn't be dating a 26-year-old or a 20-year-old for the sole purpose because I have kids that age. Think about what you just said. They're not your kids, they're your adults. You fantasize about adults being children. And for some strange reason the rest of the world has to fucking like bow to that delusion that you have about your children. You're 20. And think about it. Is there such a thing as a 25-year-old child? I mean, I guess so, maybe Bergs. But he's an adult. Those are your adults. They're not your kids. I mean, they're your kids, but they're not your children. They're not your babies. You fucking weirdos. You weirdo faggots.
Powerful media, political interests are trying to tell women not to have children, using social media to do so. In the United States, the data shows that women with children vote Republican.
Yeah.
Because the Republican ideology is your kids will be safe, they'll have a better life, and the Democrat is you can party.
Yeah.
I don't know how we reverse that.
Yeah,
but
do more
I
drugs.
will say it does feel like we are kind of. There was I think in Europe, correct me if I'm wrong, but there's been a big shift towards curtailing a lot of this mass migration now. We've seen it for a while, but now it seems to be getting more prominent.
Yeah, like Austria's far right party, I shouldn't even call them far right party, are pulling
moderate conservative.
Yeah, are pulling at 40%. Even in Ireland, like the biggest problem with Ireland is there's a lot of people on the right that want to stop immigration. We just don't have the political vehicle yet. There's no.
These are liberal countries. These liberal countries in Europe are like, no, we got to stop this. Do you see where this is going? Do you know what they're going to call it? White nationalism. White nationalism. So again, what is wrong with this? What is wrong with being a white nationalist? Just out of curiosity. Why is it hateful? Why is it hateful to love your race? Why is everyone else allowed to love their race except for white people? Just out of curiosity. Why can't they be proud of taking a shithole and turning it into a paradise? Why can't they be proud of curing diseases for other people that aren't even related to them or look like them? We're sending people to outer space that never would have had the chance based on skin color if they lived in another country. Or gender. Why do we hate this? Why can't we be proud of it? Why can't people go down an escalator and then get on mass transit and then march in DC? Who's saying they can't? Well, I can tell you, Wingstar, Matthew Potts, and Bianca Dupree.
All organized, there's very
Communist
bad
homosexuals.
organization, and there's no representation, and that's what's it's causing a lot of, you know, people are, we call it politically homeless.
Right.
They have no one to go to. Wow. In Ireland. So,
That's pretty wild. That.
yeah.
Politically homeless.
With AC Pro, anyone can recharge their car's AC.
Oh, shut up.
Like a pro. Be a pro with AC Pro.
I should probably recharge mine.
If bras hurt your morning, this is for you.
Yeah, why do you women wear bras? Why don't you just wear, like, sports tops or something like that? I mean, think about it. These women complain about everything. Like, you got tits, and like, oh my god, I got these things called testicles, and guess what? They're more sensitive than your tits. And I don't have to wear bras for my testicles.
Posy Bra, #1 do everything summer bra. Summer clearance. 80.
You wear them because it makes you
country
think
that
you're
fought
sexy or something. I don't know.
so hard for an Irish identity, for independence, for a nation, to not have a political party that represents the interests of the Irish.
Yeah.
Is weird.
It's very strange. Our main parties, a girl called Helen McEntee, this is the way it's gone. Like everyone else, a lot of the Northern European countries now are going back on gender identity.
Yeah.
We're speeding up on it. Like, yeah. Helen McEntee was the Minister for Children and Youth. She introduced a whole new curriculum teaching young kids about gender identity. There's a book called Busybodies, which was introduced by the HSE, and that tells 8 to 12-year-olds your sex could be male or female, but you ever feel like, you know, you're not a girl, you're not a boy, and it's teaching these to kids. Her husband, which is crazy, sits on the board of AbbVie as the director of market access, and they do puberty blocking hormones.
Yeah.
And this is so.
I thought in the West, like we were just winning this one. Like it was,
Yeah, thought so. I thought you'd think it was over. In Ireland, they're like playing catch up from 2020 ideology. It's very strange. They were at a Pride festival there this week.
We're just about at time, but one last question for you. Do you ever think you think Irish reunification is a thing that'll happen, or is it largely a moot point at this point because you can freely travel and?
Yeah, no, I definitely think it's possible. I think if we had good governance in Ireland and we were strict on immigration, we prioritised our own people, I think it would be much more likely to see a united Ireland, because Northern Ireland would look at us and say, I want a bit of that.
I actually think the migration issue may be the biggest catalyst for what reunifies Ireland.
100%. If we can sort the migration issue and prioritise our own people, I can see people in the north voting to.
It's pretty weird.
Yeah.
Hundreds of years of conflict and ideological, violence, and then the Irish and the Northern Irish do they call themselves the Northern Irish, or what do they say?
They do.
British.
Yeah.
British, they just look at each other and they're like, You know, we're not so different, huh?
Yeah, did you ever see that meme of the two white guys and go,
Oh, and then the Sudanese guy, like, it's like the two white guys and they're fighting, and the Sudanese guy butchers somebody, and they're like, maybe we're not so different
after all. Yeah,
but that's the joke conspiracy theory that, you know, the powers that be were like, look, we're never going to stop this fighting between.
Whatever, dude. Whatever, Tim Pool.
This weekend, in the midst of the country's 250th birthday festivities, a stark and disturbing display emerged from our nation's capital on Saturday.
These were the same people that were calling the Black Lives Matters and Antifa riots peaceful protest. Look at her fucking face. What a liar.
When masked members of the white supremacist group, the Patriot Front, marched through Washington, D.C., carrying Confederate flags and shouting slogans like, quote, "Reclaim America."
Oh my God, how dare
A
they?
photographer captured this stunning, now viral photo of a young black woman sitting on a Metro car while the masked men surround her. Joining our panel now.
Surround her. Why didn't they lynch her, stab her? Instead of curiosity, whatever your name is, forehead wrinkles. Why didn't the racist mongrels, these white supremacists, stab or lynch this woman that they were surrounding? Instead of curiosity.
And Sina, who was also photographed riding the Metro next to Patriot Front members over the weekend. Roswell, thanks very much for joining us.
Thank you for having me, Casey.
Can you take us inside? I mean, I think when we see that photo, it's silent. You see these people standing in their masks. You see this woman sitting there. What was it like to sit on a train car like that?
It was very unsettling, as you can imagine. Very uncomfortable. You know,
This is the same motherfucker that probably passes these black Israelites all the time in Manhattan and doesn't feel a thing. He sees these black Israelites screaming at white people, assaulting women. By the way, I mean, we have the videos of that. They did it right on a live news broadcast. He has no feelings about that. But this look, no one's stabbing him, no one's intimidating him, nothing like that. No one's even talking to him.
Maryland to the New Carrollton station. If you live in Washington, that's the last stop on the line. You know, it was full of just normal tourists and families.
He's autistic. Look at that. The fucking
ready to go to the mall or get off at Capitol South by the Capitol. You know, when they emptied out, I realized, oh, that was fun. It was nice seeing parents with their kids and.
Yeah, okay, guys, take care. You know, it was really nice meeting you guys. See you later. We're gonna go march on DC, and say defend the United States. Oh, how could they do this? This is incredible. Again, this is what the liberal left communist homosexual has to complain about.
Being the 4th of July. Then after they left, you know, the car pretty much emptied up. At the next stop, I saw this mass amount of men in masks and hats and sunglasses, and it was very unnerving. I probably kind of froze there when they were all kind of boarding, not knowing what was happening, and I had no idea who they were, so I was naturally nervous when a big group of unidentified people walk in.
And you ended up in some photographs.
Okay, so question. Would you feel more comfortable with the Patriot Front or Patriot, whatever the fuck they're called, these white nationalists on a train, or a bunch of Muslim extremists on a train? Or maybe even a plane? Again, these are the same people. Same people that pretend like there's nothing wrong with Islam or radical Islam or anything. We just have to be more understanding. More understanding.
Taken by a Getty Images photographer. What did it say to you that there was a photographer there?
that's when it alarmed me. This is something, you know. But the photographer also gave me some comfort, knowing that somebody was there with a camera.
Oh
just in
yeah,
case
yeah.
Something happens, because I was realizing
they just found you. They found you and this black woman. Yeah. That's like the whole Rosa Parks thing, right? That was orchestrated. They knew she was going to do it. They have pictures of her on the bus. They have pictures of the cops arresting her from the bus, leading her into whatever. It's not like today where you can get like a notification on your phone. This was all orchestrated. This is the same shit, same fucking shit. And they got a retarded, schizophrenic black woman who's committed multiple crimes to sit there. They couldn't get anyone else to do it. They got her. And I kind of wonder, did they pay her?
I won't be able to identify any of them because they're all dressed the same. So it made me realize to start paying attention. What are they wearing? What's on their hats? What's on their shirts? Just to give me an educated idea who they were. And I was texting some friends, you know, this is happening. Just want you to be aware that I'm in the middle of a metro by myself. So if anything happens, you know what's happening.
Nothing's gonna happen to you.
Thought as you're
like he's trying to tell his friends like, oh, I might be lynched because I'm on a train with a bunch of white nationalists. Didn't happen, dude. It's not gonna happen because it doesn't happen. Holy shit, man! These people want this to be the worst thing ever. Ever.
Who they might be, like what's, you know, I know you said you didn't know who they were, but what were you speculating?
He knew.
A bunch of white guys with masks and
I mean,
hats.
clearly they needed to cover their faces for a reason, right?
My mind immediately went to that they were white supremacists. So, and you know, I work for the U.S. Capitol Historical Society. So my first thing is,
why would your mind go to their white supremacists? So when white people get together, right, and they wear masks and hats and whatever, they're white supremacists. Maybe they're patriots. Maybe they're part of the Patriot Front. Who's declaring them a hate group? Who declared Patriot Front a hate group? Let's see. Who declared the Patriot Front a hate group?
The Southern Poverty Law Center designated the Patriot Front as a white nationalist hate group.
Is the Southern Poverty Law Center being investigated for anything right now?
Yes, the Southern Poverty Law Center is facing legal action. A federal grand jury has charged them with wire fraud, making false statements, and conspiracy to commit money laundering, with allegations that donated funds were diverted to members of extremist groups.
So why would I trust the Southern Poverty Law Center to tell me that the Patriot Front is a hate group?
That's a valid question, especially with the recent charges. While the SPLC is facing very serious allegations, their classifications of extremist groups are often supported by evidence and research from other organizations, law enforcement, and investigative journalists. To be absolutely certain, it's always a good idea to examine findings from multiple credible sources. Are there any specific groups or designations you're interested in looking into further?
Yeah, does the Southern Poverty Law Center see Black Israelites as a hate group?
Yes, the SPLC designates radical factions within the Hebrew Israelite movement as hate groups, specifically pointing to those that promote anti-Semitism and anti-white beliefs.
They are all over Manhattan, guys. They're all over Manhattan. And you would think that news crews would be all over this when the Black Israelites are doing shit like this. And by the way, I want to point out that they did. The Black Panther Party did this in Philadelphia just recently. But they did it with guns. I don't know if you remember that. Let's see. Again, this is the scourge of the earth. This is the most dangerous thing to democracy. This is the most dangerous thing to black people and people in general. I didn't see any guns.
Won't no ICE agent ever run up on me. I guarantee you they won't. I'll put a hole in their chest the size of a window. Safe line repair, safe line replace. That's what's gonna happen. They touch me. Unarmed woman was killed by ICE. If you think you're about to come and brutalize the people while we're standing here, fuck around and find out. Our interactions with the police and ICE, and we hold them accountable. We hold them accountable. We patrol the community and we hold.
Was Patriot Front doing this? He got an AR-15 or a 12 gauge AR or whatever the fuck he's got. Just out of curiosity.
Hold them accountable. The Black Panther Party for Self-Defense, we're the same Panther Party from back in the day, but we're a little more aggressive now, you dig? Carry bigger guns and we don't take no shit. Places where there are a lot of immigrants at, I think that the community around them needs to take special care to them and needs to start escorting them to and from everywhere to make sure that they're safe. Because them ICE agents ain't gonna act like that if it's a bunch of people standing outside with assault rifles and shotguns. It's a semi-automatic shotgun. That means them shotgun shells that shoot out of a pump, they shoot them rapidly. If you are going to legally arm yourself with something bigger than what they got. Those who serve in the public, they should be fearful of the public. They should be fearful that the public's going to be dissatisfied with their job that they're doing, not feeling like they're tyrants, not feeling like they're
Who are we afraid of?
bullies because they got guns and body armor and walkie-talkies that makes them immune to whatever the people would do. I think you want to correct the ideology of the pig and the mentality of the slave catcher, you meet them with equal force. All power to the motherfucking people.
You get it now? You get it?
I said call them, I don't answer questions. Call them. And I got my gun license and my driver's license in my hand. So stay 8 feet from me and don't talk to me no more. I don't answer questions. I'm not talking to you about shit. Call your supervisor. My name is Paul Birdsong from the Black Panther Party. The days of you coming out here and fucking with people is over. They jumped out on us like some dumbasses. They gonna learn today.
We're gonna learn.
No, we not. We about to make sure they can't come on the block no more. They ain't gonna be able to come out here no more.
They don't want. They're saying that the cops aren't going to be allowed to enforce laws there anymore. That's what they want. Imagine if the Patriot Front was saying this. Can you imagine? I'm surprised CNN isn't all over this.
Cause we'll put a boot in.
Really strange. Really, really strange. I mean, I don't think I have to play anymore. Let's watch some more Patriot Front. Oh, this is about 2 hours. I want to see some Patriot Front in action. Let's see. This comes from Forbes, so this is going to be biased as hell. Look at the face on this guy. He's like, "Oh my god, I was standing right next to them."
Available for kids and teens. Learn more at summermealsny.org.
Here with me now is the man behind this week's celebrations, Interior Secretary Doug Burgum. Thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, Doug. What's up, Doug?
I'm spectacular.
Burgum.
We obviously, when we were celebrating America, we've had an incredible celebration, and this is a kickoff of a celebration year.
Right.
But
There's nothing
we know from our very founding.
Fucking idiots.
This morning, I spoke with Luke Baumgartner from George Washington University about his thoughts on what we saw. He is a researcher in their program on extremism.
Luke Baumgartner, thank you so much for being with us this morning. You've done extensive research on extremism and white supremacy. What do you know about the group Patriot Front, their motives, and how they operate?
So up front, Patriot Front is a white nationalist and white supremacist group that's been around for nearly a decade now. They sprung out of a splinter group from another group called Vanguard America that was present at the 2017 Unite the Right rally in
Where are the
Charlottesville,
guns?
Virginia.
Where are the guns?
Taken over by one of their members through a hostile takeover. Since then, they've grown significantly in popularity and in size. And their message to America is that it is for whites only. That means nobody of color, no LGBTQ, anybody else that doesn't subscribe to that sort of ideology. And their slogans and their iconography really.
Now, I'm not going to believe this guy, right? Because it's 2026. People say ridiculous shit on the internet all the time. So let's see what they say. Let's watch this interview.
Here once again with Thomas Russo, the head of Patriot Front. Thanks for coming back. You're starting to become a friend, I would say.
I'm a friend of the show at least, so we're working on it.
At least.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, no, it's we're gonna have a kind of different conversation today because
Absolutely.
I think we've talked a lot about Patriot Front. We'll mix in that a little bit.
Sure.
You never know.
It's gonna come up.
Yeah, we never know. Shockingly. No, I never have strict boundaries where they're going to go, but I talk to you, you're always spouting historical figures, and you seem to have such a wealth of history, particular American history, better than any history professor I've ever had. So we're going to kind of jump around in history. I'm sitting there holding all these pamphlets.
We make a lot of the literature.
Yeah, you gave me these last times, and it's fascinating stuff. Like all these, is this the one with all the one have the quotes of? All
I don't have the quotes in here, but this is one I gave you last time. It's all the speeches from Lindbergh, who was, again, you talked about how you were familiar with him as an aviator, but what they don't talk as much about is how he was one of the leading voices leading the charge to America out of World War II, and trying to prevent the civilizational disaster that happened as a result.
Okay, I'm not
and
hearing
it's not
anything.
just Lindbergh, but it goes all the way back. We have a huge wealth of American figures who have been nationalists and who, if you transplanted them today, would be total nationalistic in their opinions. And, people see Patriot Front, and I think it's so incredibly insane when liberals, and it's mostly liberals, sometimes even conservatives, they look at PF and they say, all right, well, you have these opinions on race or nationality or immigration, or, you're flying the 50-star flag upside down and you're un-American. This is un-American. You don't know a lick of what America is. They think that history started, at the end of maybe at like 1965, and that everything before was
that's
just,
true.
they dismiss it. And I think you either need to have a full understanding of history or you need to just throw it all out, but you can't cherry pick and you can't overly just misinterpret things to your own ends.
Yeah, no, your understanding of history is so deep. I've studied a little bit of history, but you're so far beyond me.
So my question again is, why is this guy considered so evil and so violent when you just had a bunch of people, right? A bunch of people with firearms threatening the police, threatening anyone who went against them, wanting to disband the police, the very same people that uphold the Constitution of the United States and protect your constitutional rights, versus these guys. I haven't heard him say anything violent or anything like that. Southern Poverty Law Center, what are you talking about?
No, let's just mess around with the history conversation.
Sure.
And Lindbergh, I love him. I remember the day everyone was asking Grok, what historical figure and they said Charles Lindbergh for me. That's the biggest compliment ever. I'll take it. Maybe a little exaggeration, but
For sure.
I'm like, sure, Grok, I'll take that compliment. That was so cool.
No, he was really an inspiring figure. He was an innovator. And, I've read beyond just his speeches.
Vanguard America, I never knew that. I'm not into it. I'm just.
Before and after the
I'm going to
Second World
support
War.
these guys.
He saw a lot of the devastation.
I support the Patriot Front. I think the way they're going about freedom of speech and all this stuff is the way to do it. I'm going to support them continuing to do it like this. I think this is a big eye opener. The way the Black Panthers act, the way BLM acted, the way Antifa acts. We don't need that in this country. It's not. I don't know about you. I don't want my car being spray painted with swastikas and my windows being broken and stuff like that. I don't want that. So I'm supporting Patriot Front.
Firsthand, he did actually fight in the war in the Pacific Theater.
Really?
Which
He
personally I
fought
think
in World War II?
Yes, he as a pilot. So his stance was for the years leading up to the war, he didn't want the United States to enter. Actually, and even before the war started, he saw Europe lurching towards conflict. He visited Germany a number of times, and he writes in his wartime journals that he's speaking with average.
Johnny B.
About the issue because he's.
Johnny B, I'm surprised that they don't take his guns away for saying shit like that. I made a comment pretending to be a serial killer on someone else's live stream, on a human being that doesn't even exist, her live stream. We were talking about dating as serial killers, and the FBI showed up to my house. and said, "Do you want to hurt people?" And they said, "Well, you say stuff like this online. We have every right to take away your firearms." Did you know that? I don't know why this guy, the fucking Black Panthers guy has got his firearms and all this shit. I mean, I don't understand. He's threatening to fucking get rid of the police, fuck police up with bigger guns, etc. If I said that, holy shit, the Washington Township Police Department would be here right now taking my guns.
And
I support the Patriot Front for doing this.
And just average people at the time were saying that, yes, were responsible for the disaster in World War I. They're currently exploiting the country. And again, these are just average people saying, yeah, this is a problem and we want to fix it. And Lindbergh was listening to them and said, yeah, well, I mean, this is new to me, but I get it. This is their problem and they're trying to solve it from a nationalist perspective. And he had this understanding of people, and then he and his family were in not only Germany, but I think England, or they were in Europe in the lead up to the war, going back and forth, and he met part of the royal family.
You think it's because he's black? It might be, right?
It might one of the highest honors awards. I think you could get medals by
they don't want to. They don't want to deal with burnt down buildings and stuff like that because they took away pew-pews from a radical black, right? They only want to do it through radical whites, I guess. But again, I'm going to say it again. I support the Patriot Front for doing this and acting this way and showing America that this is how you practice your First Amendment right. They should be applauded for this, especially after what we saw in the past decade with Antifa, Black Lives Matters, the rest of these scumbags.
Somebody who's not a resident of the country. And, he was on both sides. He saw everything to do because he was an aviator. So he saw everybody building planes, everybody buying munitions, and he saw the tensions heating up, and he knew that it wasn't going to go anywhere good. So he leaves and takes his family out of Europe before disaster strikes and immediately starts trying to make sure that America remains independent. And he cites, I think I mentioned it on our first podcast here in the studio, he cites the Monroe Doctrine. He cites the George Washington's farewell
What's the Monroe
address.
Doctrine again? You did mention it, but
Yes.
that's
So
can you explain that real quick.
James Monroe, who actually is on the cover of one of our booklets here, he was one of the founding fathers. I believe he's the last founding father to hold the office of president. And he said in a speech, it's a long speech, I don't have it all memorized, but he said, the American continents shall hereafter not be the subject of European colonization. Essentially, this was an effort to maintain the geopolitical independence of America, because America is now entering the realm of a sizable power. You could say America wasn't a great power at the time, but we are certainly in the competition with European powers in geopolitics at the time of Monroe's presidency. And that would later be used to justify measures against, essentially, it's backtracking. It's easy to not understand the early American political dynamic because nowadays America kind of stands on its own. America's kind of on a pedestal.
Yeah, we're on a level.
We have really good borders. Well, we have really good geography where we aren't bordering. We don't share a border with China or Russia.
Mexico and Canada is not going to invade us.
Exactly. But back in the day, America was on the seaboard, and we shared a border with Britain, France, and Spain. And they all had the greatest navies and the greatest armies in the world, and America was in a wedge between all three of them. So it was a huge concern. And if you look back at the Federalist Papers, a big reason that the Constitution was drafted, that a national government needed to replace the Articles of Confederacy.
The Federalist Papers are very important. Most people don't know what the fuck it is. The Federalist Papers and the documents that were written by these people who signed the Declaration of Independence, they signed the Bill of Rights, etc. They knew that there was going to be people out there that would shit stir and basically say, no, this doesn't mean that. They specifically wrote down what they were talking about and the reasons for these constitutional rights. And when people argue the right to bear arms, right, because it's a limited sentence and whatever, these guys knew that was going to eventually happen. So they got down and they said, this is exactly what I mean. And they published a book called the Federalist Papers. And for some strange reason, no one pays attention to it. It's now being considered a white supremacist doctrine for some strange reason. The very guys who gave these fucking communist homosexuals the right to go out and fucking, quote unquote, peacefully protest are the very same people that they're calling white supremacists. It just blows my mind.
Or the Confederation, is that without a strong central national government, and foreign interests, namely coming from very powerful European empires, are going to tear the country apart. And the Monroe Doctrine was a measure to say, finally America is independent. America is sovereign. America is a power on its own. And we believe that, and it was also something of an anti-imperialist measure, right?
Yeah, like we weren't going to go and conquer others outside of the Americas. Our interest was more in the Americas, like Canada, Mexico.
Yes.
But we didn't seem, I could think it's wrong, but it doesn't seem like the early people didn't have any interest of going and conquering lands in Europe or China.
Certainly not in Europe or China. But the lands in the West, were certainly subject to conquest. And even going back to Thomas Jefferson, he was something of an expansionist. People, he thought so far as even conquering upwards of Cuba and Canada. Wow. But of course, Jefferson was a very ambitious man in terms of how great America could be, because he was on a roll with the Louisiana Purchase.
Yeah. Oh, is that the guy? That what a crazy purchase! I don't remember the price, but we bought that. It wasn't just Louisiana; it was a massive amount of
It was a
land.
third of the continent, and at the time it was beyond. So Jefferson is an interesting reference for kind of nationalist politics, not only because of his cultural civics, but also because he became president on a platform of, he was a Democratic Republican, I believe. So, he wants limited government. His ideal for America is an agrarian republic of the everyman. And of course, during Jefferson's time, in order to vote, especially in Virginia, you had to be a white male landowner, right?
Yeah.
But land was also much easier to own back in the day. It essentially meant you were the head of the family,
Yeah.
right? Because almost anybody who owned land was the head of a family, or you're a subsistence farmer. Nowadays, if we impose that same standard, it would be very different.
Yeah, because people are struggling. Like, people that add to society are struggling to buy houses. It should be if you pay taxes now, maybe.
No, certainly. Well, I think, honestly, with the Constitution, I think there is an argument to be made on original intent, and that's still made nowadays. I think it's too easy to dismiss, the Constitution and things of hundreds of years ago, saying, "Oh, that's old, dusty stuff." But no, it's still very relevant to us today, and we should have a lot of respect for what the Constitution has given us. I don't think it's perfect. I don't think it's written by God. I think it was very much inspired by European history and the American experience.
It was
But
inspired
it's
by
also something
Rome,
which can be
Yeah.
changed and should be changed.
And they have it in there. It was.
This bothers me, that people pretend like this is a white man thing. This whole thing is a white man thing. The United States is a white man thing. It was inspired by Greco-Roman culture, and not Asiatic, not African, nothing like that. It was inspired by Europeans and European history. If you don't believe that, because some fucking Chinaman came over here and put some fucking spikes in a railroad tie or something like that, you're crazy. You're absolutely insane. And it shows that you know basically nothing. You're very limited. You're very limited based on emotions and not fact.
Impressive, though. Could you imagine today's Congress sitting?
I support the
putting that
Patriot
together?
Front.
I couldn't.
Not at all,
These
no.
buffoons sitting there.
It would be
like-
a million pages long. And having several
Yeah,
languages.
it's not even that long. It's not perfect, but it's a damn good document for a country.
Well, and if you read through the debates that they had at the convention, you realize that these were really smart men doing the absolute best they could in their circumstances. One of the first things that the signers, or the framers, I should say, did is they banned the importation of slaves immediately. I think it was 1805, 1810, and it was a debate between the northern and the southern states. And also you had the 3/5 compromise. So, I mean, race was a huge element of the early
that was an
Constitution.
early on thing. Oh, that's right, the 3/5. So I
From
guess it had to be,
day
yeah.
zero, yes, absolutely. Because people in the North said, hey, well, I don't want more Africans in the country. And also, slavery as an institution they thought was immoral, but it was from a totally different perspective than you see with later abolitionists, 100 years later. So they wanted to ban the importation of slaves, and then the Southerners, you know, and I'm a Southerner myself. I have a lot of respect for that. They had the very reasonable concern of like, okay, well now you're going to try to overpower us in the legislature, because if the people, or if my slaves don't count towards proportional representation, which frankly they shouldn't have, then you're not gonna.
If they can't vote and they have no rights, that's kind of insane.
Yeah, I talked about this a while ago. How like people, they realize once they made these people citizens, they made these people part of the country, that they're going to need representation. And the douchebag thing that they did, it wasn't because of the fact that they were black. The North wanted more power than the South, and the South would have become a very powerful part of the country and already divided, and they couldn't give that power to the South. They had to beat down the South, and that's why they did that. There was if you look up, there's a documentary on the obelisk in D.C. It was built and torn down because they found out that one of the Army Corps of Engineers that built it or whatever was a Southerner. That's how much this country was divided at one time. They tore it fucking down. They built it and they tore it down because they found out that the guy was from the South. Like there was a power struggle in this country between North and South for a very long time, even after the Civil War.
Towards representatives, but at the same time their concern was, hey, my state is going to be steamrolled. My state is going to be steamrolled because I'm not going to be as represented in the national legislature, and my interests, again, I'm signing on to a compact, but how am I going to do that if my interests aren't represented in a national assembly? So the compromise was just that, and it was very important. You have Washington presiding over the Constitutional Convention, and he spoke very little. He had immense power, but his leadership was very much an effort to get America and the American people on their own feet.
Yes.
At the time, and nowadays we would compare Washington to much later figures, much later great leaders and so on.
Yeah.
But at the time, Washington and the American...
He didn't want to be too involved. He was loved because he was considered the man who helped win the war, correct? He was the primary...
He was the war hero, he was the general, he was the commander-in-chief. And during the war, there were a few other generals which were kind of on par, but Washington proved...
The war was almost lost. We're not going to get deep into it, but it was
it was
to points where we were going to lose it, and I believe Washington's the one that pulled it back from the brink of disaster to a victory.
Yeah. It was by no means a given that America would win the war. America had a huge benefit in logistics and like your local, but at the same time, the British controlled the coastline. They could take their armies and they could just put them on a boat and put them anywhere they wanted. They had obviously they had a money advantage. They had a manpower advantage.
So again, what is so hateful about what this guy's saying? CNN, Southern Poverty Law Center, they would have you believe that this is the most hateful human being on planet Earth. What is he saying that's so hateful? What is racist about what he's saying? I don't get it. If someone could please tell me. He's telling you the truth. The talking points that he's bringing up are the same talking points that these communist homosexuals use when they hate this country. He's just saying he loves it.
Cases. And before, I think the turning point of the war was really at the Battle of Saratoga, which Washington wasn't at, where Burgoyne was defeated in upstate New York, which is actually, I want to visit that battle site sometime. But, Burgoyne was defeated, and that was actually an example where now we can prove to the world that we can get support from the French or the Spanish.
He wants to go he wants to go to a fucking battlefield, right? He doesn't want to kill cops. He doesn't want to kill federal agents. Unlike the Black Panthers that were so, nicely treated by CNN when they did a debut special on them. You get it? So what am I missing here? What am I missing?
Generally weren't in it so much because they loved America, but they were in it mainly because they hated Great Britain, which you know,
enemy is
it's
him and
geopolitics.
friend. What's the thing? Yeah.
But and you know, going back to the Constitution for a second, you know, it's very easy to throw, you know, all kinds of critiques at it, and a lot of them are very much correct. And definitely a lot needs. But you know, on the subject of the Bill of Rights in particular, I think as a nationalist, you need to be very grateful for that, because that is literally a shield given to you, because the Bill of Rights is depicted as a shield.
Second
Yes.
Amendment is so crucial to us. Europe doesn't have that, and they're getting their. I mean, you've seen it, right? People are getting arrested for Facebook tweets. They don't have guns to defend themselves. This is just so crucial.
No, and I mean, in Britain, people's homes are getting broken into, and there's like foreigner squatters in there, and they have no recourse. Even things like search and seizure or being a witness against yourself. You know, I've spoken to nationalists in all these other countries in Europe, in other places in Australia and in South Africa, and they do not have these protections.
Crazy.
And it's easy. And then I see, you know, Americans, you know, who are nationalists, you know, they love their country, they love their people, but they're saying, oh, boo-hoo, my Constitution. It's like, give the founders a little bit of credit, because if you didn't have that, you would be in jail for saying exactly what you just told me, right? And we would, our marches, our demonstrations, our assemblies, our group itself, in Britain, they can't even wear uniforms.
Yeah,
they can't even wear the same shirts.
You would probably be in jail if you were in most parts of the Europe.
Yeah. Well, I have been in jail in America.
That's true. That's true.
I would probably still be in jail.
You would still be in jail.
Yeah,
No, they want you in jail, because I've seen. I can't remember exact cases, but I've seen guys getting arrested sometimes for a couple of years just for their beliefs and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Well, another one's the Holocaust denial. Some people years in jail for that. I don't believe this historical event, so I'm going to go to jail. That's
No, and
insane.
the biggest thing, you know, that they do is it's kind of a reign of terror in a lot of these European countries, because they will just raid your house again and again and again, and they can take whatever they like in a lot of cases, and they don't need, again, needing a warrant for search and seizure is so huge in a lot of these cases. And I know in Britain itself, I think the standard is just that some magistrate has to sign off on it and say, yeah, that's normal, that's reasonable.
We can see how.
But in
terrible these
America,
charges
at
are, yeah.
least, you need some semblance of a probable cause, a reasonable suspicion of a crime, and it needs to be a particular crime, and you need to be looking for something in particular. So, you know, credit has to be given where credit is due.
Yeah, you have pills, and again, I think our legal system has some major flaws, but it's better than alternatives. Thanks for watching Fight Back Podcast. If you like the show,
shut up. Again, I'm not being swayed here. You would think that this guy would be talking about killing blacks and killing Jews and Muslims and all this stuff. What is everyone complaining about? I support these guys. Let's see what Hassan has to complain about when it comes to the Patriot Front.
Tools from Harbor Freight are doing hard work in real garages across America. Like Nico's one-man...
Speaking of weirdos, members of the group Patriot Front ride the metro as commuter looks on during the 250th anniversary of U.S. independence. This is, I mean, you know, America. There it is. A bunch of ICE agents.
Isn't this guy going to jail for, like, colluding with, like, communist Cuba? Like, isn't he going to jail for something? He's been brought up on, like, you know, on charges for, like, colluding with Cuba, a communist country. Like, I mean, I don't know. It's weird. He's
that are now ironically wearing a mask. Bunch of ICE agents that chose to wear a mask on this beautiful day to go and do Fed activity on their off day. How wonderful for them. Look at how sweaty this guy's head is. Oh my God. This is what they did. They did a show of...
What is so appalling about this? Life, liberty, and victory. What is so appalling? I mean, again, they're not even standing on the grass. Explain this to me.
Loser ass LARPers, bro.
Loser ass LARPers. Dude, this guy got booed out of fucking Newark. This guy got booed out of Newark. The most liberal fucking like hellhole on planet Earth. They booed this guy out of there. LARPer. Again, explain this to me. Why are these people so dangerous?
Streamer that was with the group, and apparently he declared it a total Aryan victory. At first, I thought
Aryan
they were
victory
masks because they wanted to hide their identity because they don't want to be outed as Nazis and stuff. But honestly, I think they wear the mask because most of them are Mexican and of Guatemalan descent too, and they're just like a little bit ashamed. As we have seen thus far, the Groyper movement. Sorry, this is not the majority in any way, shape, or form, but the Groyper movement is majority Latino.
So basically, he's trying to create a thing like saying like these are white nationalists, but these people aren't white enough. I've been hearing a lot of that. People aren't white enough. And these are the very same people that are trying to trick MAGA supporters into believing that they made a mistake by voting for Donald Trump. So what they'll do is they'll come in and they'll say, yeah, I was MAGA, and I no longer support MAGA. These people are white. They're allowed to be white. I've been told by these people I'm not white, and I'm telling you right now, if that's true, I support these people. I support them 100%. I'd rather support them and what they're doing than Antifa, Black Lives Matters, any of these communist homosexual organizations. This guy, this piece of shit right here.
Too. There are Muslim Groypers as well, Indian Groypers. So I assume that a part of the reason why they wear the mask is because they're just like kind of worried that if they show their face, people are going to be like, well, this is DEI.
Well, no, they're afraid to show their face because people like you and these communist homosexuals burnt down cities and destroyed private property and actually tried to unalive people. You guys did it for almost a decade. They're not stupid. They know what's coming down the pike. Once you guys get power again, that's what's going to happen. You're going to go after all these people. You're going to go after people like me. I know it. I don't support that behavior. I've said that over and over and over again, and I do support Patriot Front 100%. From what I've seen. Again, look at the Cuban flag back there, the fucking the Chinese Republic flag, the Republic flag of China, this fucking bullshit back here. This guy's going to jail.
Like not looking real Aryan. Apparently they intern on Capitol Hill. Want to know how quickly they got 400 makes extremists, MAGA extremists in DC? It's because many of them are Republican staffers. The most overlooked scandal in the U.S. right now. I don't know if that's true or not, but I will tell you this. Look at this man's swamp ass, bro. They're sweating. Either they're sweating or they are pissing in their pants, I guess. But
well, at least they're not shitting on subway cars, right? Like the brave black woman that you were saying was like the most brave human being on planet Earth that ever existed.
That's crazy. I've never seen swamp ass like this. It's 100 degrees in DC. I hope they got swamp ass. Oh my God. Oh my God. All of their asses. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh, brother. Hundreds of members of the White Nationalist Patriot Front marched in DC today where 4th of July parade was canceled for deadly heat. They struggled with the heat as well. A few members of the public yelled at them.
The fucking right to abortion.
Yeah, here we go. Yeah. These peaceful protesters. Again, I don't... These are the very same people that burnt down your cities and spray painted your cars with swastikas. You don't believe me? Let's go back in time. Attacks on Tesla vehicles.
Imagine being able to build anything just by thinking about it.
These are the guys. These are the people that did it, and they're telling you the
White
Patriot.
House is vowing to crack down on the rising number of Tesla attacks at car dealerships across the country.
KTLA Samantha Cortese joined us live with more on the wave of vandalism in protest of Elon Musk and his role in Washington. Sam?
Hi, Sharon, Micah. The ATF and FBI are collaborating with federal, state, and local law enforcement to investigate acts of domestic terrorism surrounding Teslas.
This wasn't Patriot Front that was doing this, by the way.
Teslas are being torched across the country. Dealerships shot up and set on fire. Spray paint to vandalize and make a statement. People in Southern California are getting notes on their...
To make a statement. People in California are getting notes left on their cars threatening them. This is something that... I mean, this sounds like white nationalists, but they're not. They're communist homosexuals.
Teslas, calling them complicit Nazis for owning electric cars.
Let's figure out other ways of, dealing with it.
People are protesting Elon Musk's role within President Trump's White House, leading the Department of Government Efficiency's cuts to federal spending.
We think it's despicable what is happening to not just this American company, but also their innocent employees. And again, innocent Americans who drive these vehicles. We condemn it wholeheartedly.
Website DogeQuest is doxing alleged Tesla owners all over Los Angeles, Orange, and San Bernardino.
Yeah. Imagine if the Patriot Front did this. What are we afraid of here from the Patriot Front? Seriously, what am I supposed to be afraid of? And why aren't you afraid of people like this? Why is this considered not alarming?
Dino counties. Creators claim they will delete people's information once they prove they've sold their Tesla. Attorney General Pam Bondi called Tesla vandalism domestic terrorism. Retired FBI agent Ken Gray agrees.
Individuals who are owning Teslas through this DogeQuest may find their property being destroyed or at least damaged by people that for political purposes. So this really is domestic terrorism.
Former vice presidential candidate.
Yeah. Isn't that wild? Isn't that wild? Now, of course, I don't want to show the swastikas on people's cars because if I do that, YouTube could possibly give me a strike for doing that. But again, it wouldn't be the Patriot Front who's spray painting swastikas, this white nationalist group, this white supremacist group. I mean, you believe that? The only people that are spraying swastikas in 2026 on buildings and personal property is Antifa and Black Lives Matters, and these communist homosexuals. Makes perfect sense. Makes perfect sense. But again, as you know, guys, I am a 46-year-old male. It is 9:30 at night. I have to wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning to go to work because I have a job, unlike the communist homosexuals that are trying to run this country or trying to take over this country. And I think I might go out for a nice Sicilian slice. A nice, delicious Sicilian slice. So, guys, thank you very much. Thanks for the donations, etc. I did get them through PayPal, and I will be thanking everyone publicly very soon. So, guys, have a great night. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.